In this video, we're going to go over how to indicate a vise. The tools we're going to need are a 3/4 inch wrench, a 7/8 wrench, a 3/8 R8 collet, a dial test indicator, a vise, and a dead blow hammer. Indicating a vise is a critical first step in making a good part. Remember to follow all safety rules. Always wear safety glasses. No rings, no watches, no jewelry, no loose clothing, no gloves. First thing we want to do is wipe down the bottom of the vise and wipe the table off. We want to make sure that we're not putting the vise on any sort of chips. Also, be careful because the vices weigh 40 or 50 pounds, so if you need help, please ask. Use the appropriate hardware to fasten the vise to the table. Now we're only going to tighten down one bolt on the vise. The reason we do this is because this is the side that we're going to pivot around. Now smack the vise on the side with the tight nut. That way we know the other side of the vise jaw is further back. Now we're going to put our 3/8 of an inch collet into the spindle. Make sure you line the keyway and the key, that way you're not forcing it in. Now we'll put our dial test indicator into the collet. This is what we're going to use to measure the run out of the vise. Go ahead and tighten it down with the 3/8 wrench. We don't need to over tighten it because we're not going to do any cutting with this, but it still needs to be tight enough that it doesn't slip out of the collet. Now we're going to move the dial test indicator to the side of the vise with the tight nut. Then we're going to go ahead and preload the indicator 0.1 of an inch or so, and then turn the dial so it reads 0. Now we're going to run the dial indicator across the face of the jaw. We kick the left side of the vise back, so the dial indicator should not be reading anything when we get over here. Then we're going to go ahead and tap it with a dead blow hammer to bring the vise in. So we're going to hit it with the hammer until we read 0 on the indicator again. Remember to slow down when you get pretty close to the 0. Now we're going to repeat the process that we did before. We're going to back the indicator off the vise jaw and move it back to our original position. We're going to go ahead and load the indicator up 10 to 15 thousandths of an inch, turn the face of the dial until it reads 0, then run it back across the vise jaw. Once we know the vise is within plus or minus 5/10,000ths of an inch, we're going to go ahead and tighten both of the nuts. We're going to do this with even pressure so we don't pull the vise out of tram. So if you run the indicator across the vise jaw and the needle hardly moves at all, that means one of two things. One, you're trammed in, or two, you're actually not touching the vise jaw. So if you go ahead and tap the front or the back of the indicator to make sure that the needle moves, that means you're touching it and you have a good tram.